Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Start time. We know what we gotta do. Stay in the fight. Between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air.
Driving with conviction.
Side by side, hammer down.
The after-Jackson will count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it.
Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
You gotta say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Right here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Drivers, start your
mistakes. It feels like the whole world's watching every move that I make. Another sunrise, another warning, but I'm still learning how to hold the line, how to quiet down the noise inside. And the moments slip away when I forget what I need. So I steady up my hands, let the rhythm set me free. I remember to breathe when the whole world shakes me down. Clear mind, finally free. I won't break, I won't bow. I'm holding on. Yeah, I'm stronger than I seem. I remember to breathe.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As the sun sets and a new day rises, we welcome in the High Side Motorsports Gen 6 NASCAR League to Infinity Broadcasting here this evening as we go racing for round one out at Nashville Speedway here tonight. It is Hamish Munro alongside Anthony Luedy here this evening. Anthony, it's an exciting time whenever we get to go Gen 6 NASCAR racing. Nashville, I mean, it's almost an overlooked super speedway. It's one that can create great racing, incredible pack action as well. And we should be in for one hell of a night and one hell of a series, because right now we have got 35 plus cars on track ready to go racing for 150 miles here tonight in Nashville. I'm super excited. I hope you're excited too. How are you feeling coming into this one?
Amazing, man. First and foremost, thank you all for having me. This is going to be such a great time. These Gen 6 cars on this old concrete surface, this racing is going to be absolutely incredible. One thing, the key word of the night, we have got to watch that right front tire. This old concrete surface is like a cheese grater on these Goodyear tires, and managing your tire wear is going to be key.
Tire wear, I mean, it's often a factor as we go racing around super speedways, and it's exactly right as you said, that front right is really going to cop a proper knocking this evening. I think a little bit of strategy that's going to go into it tonight, Anthony, is trying to select when you're going to take those tyre sets, how you're going to take them as well. And I think taking a tyre set too early, whether you're just taking right sides or you're taking all four, could be a massive nail in the coffin for you in the hopes of trying to take a result here at Nashville, because you've got to try and balance it perfectly of not over-wearing the tyres too much, but not getting enough out of them either. So taking them too early or taking them slightly too late could really hurt your pace throughout the race tonight. Now, of course, cautions could have a part to play in that as well. We have got a stage end to think about of lap 46. So just trying to get to that stage end of 46 initially and then planning for the rest of the race. I think those are going to be two key factors that hopefully for these drivers they would have gone through the preparations for across the previous week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And the one thing that you brought up that's a big key that rings off into my mentals right now is, you just said it, stage break. In my opinion, the race doesn't start until after that first stage break. Manage your equipment, put yourself in a decent position for your first round of pit stops, and then after that stage break, that's when the real race starts, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, 100% it is. I mean, we can get to, the initial 46 laps, they're an initial amount of us to go racing, but as you said, once we get past stage break, once we get past that automatic caution that will pretty much bring everybody into pit road to get them all fixed up, that is where this is going to be, that's when the pressure's going to build, that's when the goosebumps are going to start to show in the drivers, and that's when all the sweat that they've poured out of their skin for the previous 46 laps, that's when it's going to start to become a factor. It is going to be a tough night. It's going to be a fun night, though. But we've also got a fun 15 rounds to come your way, including 3 here in 2025. Tonight, round 2 and round 3 as well. Let's have a quick look at the calendar. So first 5 rounds of the season, that's going to determine our top 16 for our in-season tournament. So Nashville Super Speedway tonight, Auto Club next week, and then Daytona will end out our run for 2025 in the mid part of December. We then return on January 4th for Kansas, go road course racing for Watkins Glen at round 5. Then the in-season tournament begins of Darlington, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Echo Park, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our longest night will crown a tournament winner. 250 miles of Indianapolis. That's going to be a fantastic race. Our first of 2 races with 3 stages in it. The first stage ends at lap 20, then lap 50, and the checkered flag at lap 100. We then go to Bristol Motor Speedway for another 3-stage race of lap 90, 180, and 300. And then we're into the end game, Anthony, of Atlanta, Old Atlanta Speedway, Pocono, Talladega, Iowa, and ending it all at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be a fun season. From today on November 30th till March 22nd, we'll be right here calling every single race for you. 15 rounds to crown the first High Side Motorsports champion in Gen 6 machinery. It's going to be a fun time. It's a very fun calendar. I did say to you off air earlier, though, a little bit disappointed that Watkins Glen is the only road course representation. Would have liked to have seen Coda, but can't always get what we want, but I think it's a fantastic calendar. I mean, well, in saying that, Anthony, we could have gone to Coda instead of maybe going to Atlanta twice and doing a bit of time traveling to the old circuit, but I don't know, that's just me. But no, it's going to be a fun time this season, and I'm super excited for the calendar that's coming up. That in-season tournament's going to be great. The winner of that will receive a free livery as provided by Blackheart Designs, so they'll be able to work with myself from Blackheart Designs to make them up a special livery that they'll likely hope to run, I would say, for the rest of the season. So it should be a fun time, but 15 rounds, it's going to be a long season, and keeping yourself tightened up, in check, and keeping yourself consistent across the season, I think that's going to be the major factor, and that's going to be key in trying to win this championship.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to give a shout out to the admin team, whoever made the in-stage tournament or in-season tournament schedule is just awesome. Not one of those tracks is anything alike. I mean, you want to talk about 4 tracks that are polar opposites from one another. That, in my opinion, is totally kick-ass. That is going to be so fun to watch. And overall, these guys are running the Gen 6 cars, right? So what is old is new again, as they say, because we're all tuned into driving this new next-gen car. So these guys are going to have a learning curve hopping back into this Gen 6 car and figuring out how to manage these races.
Well, it's, you know, and that's kind of, I suppose that's one of those tests, as you said, Anthony, of if you're a real officials lover and you're racing officials, well, in the official Cup Series on iRacing, you're racing that next-gen car. Going into older machinery, as you said, can sometimes be a little bit difficult and can be a learning curve, especially if you are fresher to the iRacing service as well. So, you know, for some of these guys who may have been on iRacing for less than a year, they may not have been able to race these cars in their heyday on iRacing as the top flight
Absolutely.
Cup Series car. So there will be some drivers with an advantage because they would have had official experience or even other league experience as well. But then there'll still be those guys who've only been on iRacing for a year or even less than a year that just click with this car and they are able to drive it super, super quick. So I think we're going to be in for something special tonight. Currently, we've got qualifying underway for these drivers. They've got their single laps currently being run. I know that Mike Rinker was just out there. He's still out there, in fact, currently here in qualifying. So every driver's trying to set their first times. Every driver, you know, first qualifying session of the year. I would say, Anthony, that there's an equal amount of lack of pressure, but I think there's also equal to that an amount of big pressure because it is the first qualifying session of the season. It's the first session where you are proving yourself to the other drivers. Now, they have raced around each other the last 2 weeks. They've had 2 clash races to race around each other with. But this first regular season qualifying, this could, you know, in some formal fashion, could be an early indicator of how your pace is going to look for the rest of the season. Can drivers get faster across the season? 100% they can. If you're starting the season out with really, really good pace, you've got less of a hill to climb to try and make up the pace and keep the car at a fast run around this championship season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And right now, this very moment that we're in is when the pressure starts to build, right? These drivers, they know all those other races were just to get some camaraderie within the league, not worth a point. You know, going out there, having fun, getting to know your competitors. Right now, this is the real season, right? This is your first actual qualifying that matters. This is your first points paying race. And man, this is where you feel like you're in a pressure cooker, right? I don't want to screw up my first qualifying run in my first race ever here in this league. So they're feeling it right now.
Oh, they will 100%. And again, and that's part of the pressure. Now, there will be less pressure, of course, too, on the other side of the coin where it is the first qualifying session. Championship's not been decided yet. You got no idea where you sit amongst the field in terms of the championship standings because we don't have any right now. So for the drivers, there's that little bit less pressure. The pressure cooker will turn up a little bit as the season goes on. The Christmas break will hopefully drag that down a little bit before round 4, but we'll see. Or the holiday break, I should say, because I'm sure that there may be somebody out there who celebrates Hanukkah or any other holiday across the holiday period, but it's going to be a fun time. And we have got our first pole sitter of the season, and it is Aposey Kareen. So Aposey's done the business here tonight to put that car onto pole position, and will now get prepped and ready to start out this race. William McKellar will start alongside Trey Jones, Joshua Parent in behind them, William Kern, Bailey Brannan the top 6, Mike Rinker, Chris Mackey the top 8 with Austin Call and Cody Pruitt for the top 10. Clay Stewart, Jeff Dillon ahead of Rusty Jordan and Zach Smathers for the top 14. Justin McCurdy, Ryan Hatch ahead of Damon Marotta and Nate Owen for the top 18. Robert Stevens Jr. ahead of Alan Phillips for the top 20. Owen Russell and Trey Martin ahead of the Australian Jack Anderson with Keith Vaughan for the top 24. Timothy Causey ahead of Michael Alexic with Sean Lester, Austin Stamper as well. An all-international 15th row of the grid here tonight, Anthony. Robert Bluin ahead of the Englishman Jordan Ferguson, so Canadian and English, all Toyota 15th row of the grid. They'll start ahead of Joe Dyson with Sam Foster. Paul Harris ahead of Dalton Henson as well. A couple of drivers didn't set times tonight, including Nick Merisro and Jay Salmon as well at the backfield, as well as John Roberts. Inside race control tonight, we have Brian Brockfitch and Charles Rinker alongside him too. So it should be a fun night of racing, one that we're prepared for here at Nashville, and one that it is going to be an exciting time ahead.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to this, man. And I will apologize in advance. I'm going to butcher somebody's name tonight, but you know what? That's part of the fun, right?
We have 15 rounds to get people's
to
names
get it right.
to get people's names right. I'm sure I just butchered Brian's name in race control then. I'm sure I butchered Rob's name as well from over in Canada. And I'm sure I butchered another name in there somewhere. I'm not sure. But lights are going to go up. The warm-up lap will begin. And we will prepare ourselves. 150 miles of Nashville. 112 laps total. Lap 46 is the stage end. It will be the 47 car of Aposey Kareen, who will start on pole position. The 92 of William McKellar alongside. Both of them had great pace during practice. Trey Jones has got good pace as well. William Kern will be one to keep an eye on too. I was chatting to some of the drivers pre-race. Zach Smathers, very emotional tonight. One of the admins, and just super excited. He's been on iRacing for less than a year, and now he's been able to get this league up and running alongside a few of the other admin in the field as well. And he's super excited to get racing in the number 3 machine. I know he put a post out earlier on social media. So hello to all the Zach Smathers Facebook friends out there that followed his link. Welcome into the chat. Welcome along. If you're joining us here on Infinity Broadcasting for the first time, well, first of all, hello, I'm Hamish. Anthony's alongside me. It's the first time we get to work together. It's going to be a fun time this season. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, the bell icon too. But pressure's about to build at Nashville. Green flag about to get flown as the lights go out and High Side Motorsports is underway for the first time as we run up towards turn 1. Can we keep it nice and tidy in the first part of the race? It looks the goods already as everyone scrambles for positions early here and they exit onto the back straight for the first time. A little bit of scrambling in the mid-pack in the front of the field as well, but what we're seeing early here, Anthony, is good pace from Aposey off the line. Great run off the line from him. Everyone else in behind just trying to push forward and get themselves into a positive position.
Absolutely. What a launch by that 47 car. I mean, that was about as good of a start as you can get here. The one thing that is just so awesome about this track is that it's not one groove. You can use this entire racetrack, and right now they are doing just that throughout the field.
They are using all of the concrete on Nashville Super Speedway this evening. Kareen with a great start off the line, but McKellar's just starting to get dragged back in again. from that draft off the back of the 47 as they cross the line to start lap 3. As Jack Anderson has had an incident in the background with Nate Owen, and that car's on its roof. That is a massive incident back there. First caution of the season is out. That is huge.
Wow, what an impact.
And I think that may have been all cause, or at least the start of this. Yep, so the 39 into the side of the 58, turns it round into the wall, and then it just gets worse from there.
Oh, man.
That's a massive one. I think that might have been, was that Nate Owen in the 39 car? No, it was Trey Martin. It was Trey, no, wait, okay, no, it must be a custom number on Nate Owen's car. No, I'm just reading it wrong, so let's have a look. It's the 99, okay, that's my fault, yep, 99 of Nate Owen. So he's running alongside of Anderson as they come round 4. He runs it wide, clips the wall. Not much they can do about that. That's just, that is an incident right there, Anthony, that by one simple mistake of running it too high and just clipping the wall, all hell breaks loose. We can't even really put blame on anyone for that one. It's just an unfortunate error so early in the race while everyone's so close together.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you get into the outside wall and back down into traffic, and the innocent people pay the price, right? I mean, it's a part of what we do, and very unfortunate for those guys. Not sure if they run a fast repair, but right now I bet there's a lot of guys that hope they do, so we'll find out if they do very quickly.
I believe they get one. I believe they get one fast trip, but that's very early in this race to have to use it, though. I mean, you're barely a few miles in to a 150-mile race. It's that's tough going very early on. But no, I think there is what we can say, and from what we saw again, simple mistake. Just ran it a little bit too high, ran it a little bit too hot off of 4 into the wall, and then the car just ricocheted off. And again, we can't even put that down to. I suppose we could maybe put it down to pushing a little bit too hard, Anthony, but I don't think we could even put too much blame on Nate then. That is just a poor mistake, unfortunately, that a lot of people have made before, and a lot more people are going to continue to make throughout the history of racing here at Nashville. It's always going to happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And the one thing for the people at home that, you know, maybe just don't quite understand what you and I get to do every week is how realistic this simulator really is. And that could be a situation where he just didn't have any temperature in his tires. So when he thought the car was going to stick and it just simply kind of skidded up the racetrack. Again, this is a very old and abrasive racetrack. This is an actual old concrete surface. This isn't like a brand new resurfaced racetrack that a lot of the NASCAR guys go to. And when he hit that corner, the front end of that car looked like it just took off up the racetrack, didn't have much heat in his tires, and the rest is history. Very unfortunate.
Yep, well, we'll get ourselves reset to go racing again ever so shortly. I would assume it's going to be lights out this time. It is indeed, so it'll be too wide for the restart. We'll get ourselves prepped up and ready to go. Let's just see if we can just get a quick little look at it again, just to try and see how this occurred to him. Let's see, what kind of angles can we get here? This one might actually be better. So it comes around, you can see that just pushing that high side and just clipping the wall. I mean, there was not much he could do about it. And unfortunately for the 58, he was just a sitting duck with nowhere to go. And when the car's ricocheted like that as well, Anthony, too, it's important to say, well, especially when it becomes a Beyblade and it goes on its roof, that you can hold brakes all you want. I mean, the 99 did well to hold his brakes. Everyone else took evasive action. And, well, one of the cars there just completely destroyed. Just picked it wrong, unfortunately.
Yeah. 23 had a bad day there.
Yeah, that's you might have a bit of a headache after that one. Quite possibly, maybe need some facial reconstruction surgery. But they've been in, they've used the fast repair, they've gone back out on track now as well. A couple of drivers taking a strategic pit stop on that one just to get some extra fuel in the car. But restart zone will get lit up once again. It'll be green flag at Nashville when we do hit it. Kareen, the master of the restart, can he do it again? As we go green flag, lap 7 of 112, and lap 7 of the first stage. As Jones has gone with a Posey up the the rear of him and up the inside of McKellar now into P2 goes the Coke Zero entry, and as we run down the back straight, McKellar got real loose off of 2. He got real loose off of 2, and I have to, that's what it's looking more and more like now, Anthony, is cold tyres are really the major factor here for these incidents.
I have to agree. Looking at the way that he just basically lost the car there, I totally agree with you. I think cold tires and a mixture of this surface are going to be a handful for these guys until they get going. Man, gosh, I hate to see that for these guys.
Well, what I do know is race control will be hard at work to just try and sort this stuff out as well. I'm sure because this happened within a lap of the previous restart, we'll likely go single file, I would say, off the next restart, just to try and limit some of these incidents happening. But again, it's cold tire running on a surface that is made up of concrete, which can obviously wear away the tires. But when you're running on cold tires around here, you've got to take it easy in the first few laps. And I think maybe they just need to take a little step back, reset themselves, and push again once the tires are warmed back up again. But the cautions aren't going to help them, Anthony, because the tires are now going to start going down in temperature again. And as they start to go back down in temperature, they're going to have to use another couple of laps just to get them back up to temperature. Okay, so cars are coming into pit lane. I don't even know if pit lane's open yet. It's not. It's still closed. So these guys may be getting EOLs for coming in this early, but trying to take a strategic advantage over the front runners.
Yeah, if they feel like they got damaged sometime, taking that EOL penalty is just simply worth it. That's trying not to use the fast repair sitting on pit road, is using that, the slow lap time as much as you can to get that damage fixed up, and hopefully have your fast repair toward the end of this race if you need it. But man, a very unfortunate start for a lot of these guys.
Well, it's an unfortunate start, but there is definitely more to come throughout tonight's race, I'm sure, and they will sort themselves out as well as we go along. So as we tucked up behind the iRacing safety truck once again, it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a fun season, though, for these drivers too. Kareen, master again of the restart, got that car back up to the race lead. Jones went right with him, so these guys are going to tangle off the restart again here and look to battle away. And as I said, I think it should be more than likely a single file restart from race control, because it is so short since the restart till the caution. Very likely they will do that. Just to give a couple of updates from race control. So 76 was out of line too early lap 1, but did not stack up. As well, lap 3 coming to lap 4, 99 gets into wall, bounces off the wall to 58 and turns him racing deal 2-0. Then lap 7, 92 loose, causes a big one, racing deal 2-0. So again, it's, racing incidents are racing incidents. They're always going to happen no matter what. We can't really put anyone's blame on that, more so than it's just a mistake at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like they are going to double up, though, which is kind of surprising. But
well, they're going to double up. We'll see how it plays off. I mean, they've gone 50-50 on the starts for first the race start was clean, and then the last restart unfortunately just pushed a little bit too early on the colder tires. So hopefully that's a wake-up call now for some, just to keep themselves in check off of this restart, and just, you don't have to push so early. We've got so far to go in this race. You can just ease up a little bit, keep the tires under you, and get them up to temperature as well. So they don't necessarily need to push tooth and nail for probably the first 5 laps or so. Just use those 5 laps, Anthony, to get the tires up to temperature, and just prepare yourself for the next 40 odd laps until we get to the staging.
Yep, absolutely right, man. Get some tire temp in these things, and let's rock and roll. Re-rack them, try one more time.
So, Nashville about to get lit up once again with the wondrous music of V8 engines in these Gen 6 Cup Series cars, as it's green flag again here at Nashville.
Looks like a pretty clean start that time. Nope. No. Broadcaster's jinx.
Yeah. So I wonder, how did that... Oh, okay. So Ryan Hatch and Clay Stewart at the back of the field. How have they done this? How have they done this? Let's just have a look here. So, oh, what the hell? They're just stacking up.
Oh, man.
What I want to know is why are they single file?
Probably the... Oh, boy. Yeah, so the way that it works is if you take the wave around or get an EOL for coming down pit road, you've got to start on the bottom row. So all of those guys were probably in that scenario. I would assume at least most of them. But unfortunate. It looks like somebody went and then somebody didn't, and the rest is history. Pure chaos.
Well, what I would say is I think race control are going to start cracking the whip on people now, because they will not stand for contact under caution or contact right on a restart like that as well. And I have a feeling that they are going to crack the whip on some drivers now and just say to them, "Oi, watch yourself. Why are you right under each other on a restart when we have literally just had a caution?" So I think race control are about to absolutely pulverize them, and there may be some penalties coming for having contact like that, which was avoidable ultimately.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Right now, top 8 cars have not come down pit road. Neither has Chris Mackey or Cody Pruitt. Anderson and Foster came in lap 4 for their initial damage for their initial damage that they got. I think Sam actually may have come in for a tactical, but Jack was of course involved in that incident early on lap 3. But at this stage, I mean, I don't mind the strategy of the front runners just staying out right now, Anthony, because if this is a trend and it does continue, they're going to be saving fuel, they're going to be saving laps, they are going to be able to go that little bit longer. There is a world that, for whatever reason, if it continues to be carnage filled, which again, if I think the same drivers are going to start perpetrating things, then race control is really going to crack the whip on them. Then they could even make it to the stage without even taking a pit stop. So that's always a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely is. And I mean, we're coming to lap 14 right now, I believe. But in the grand scheme of things, these guys have probably only got, maybe 7 or 8 laps up to full speed. So, I don't know. I think it's pretty smart of these guys, especially if you're in the top 10 right now with all the chaos going on in the back. I think the best bet is to probably stay out and try to make it to that stage.
Yeah.
I give a thumbs up to that call.
Hold your track position. And the least amount of times you can keep this car out of pit lane, the better. You know, if you can put this car through pit road, you know, as little amount of times as physically possible, that is always going to help you on the time sheet later in the race. So, you know, they'll be thinking forward. They'll be thinking, I don't want to end up in this mid-pack because there has been some carnage happening. It looks like we're going to go double file once again off the restart. Kareen and Martin on the front row, Jones, Stevens Jr. in behind, Phillips, Marotta, Salmon. Then it gets to Anderson, who is the top running car to have taken a pit stop in this race. He's got Ferguson alongside him with Mackey and Foster in behind. So restart zone's going to get lit up again at Nashville. Third caution of the race thus far. Let's get it cooking. Let's clean it up. And let's push on for a good green run here early out at Nashville Superspeedway. As we head up towards the restart zone, Nashville is going to be green flag once again.
That outside line did not go. Tons of checkup on that outside line. They're taking it 3 wide, just trying to get through the middle of the pack here. That 47 is off to a great start per usual. But man, that was almost complete carnage in the middle of the pack there once again. These guys have definitely got to start working on smoothing out these restarts. Oh, and contact.
Oh, Kareen into pit lane. So has he been knocked into pit lane there from Trey Jones?
That was completely unexpected.
That is very unexpected. There'd be no point for him to take a pit stop under green flag conditions, especially after a pace car. So I have a feeling that he may have been served into pit lane possibly. There.
Maybe he jumped the restart zone?
He might have actually, yeah, that's true. He has. He did jump it. He has a black flag, so he jumped the restart zone.
Tough break for the 47. And I tell you what, I'm watching these guys a little bit throughout the field here, and they are just loose as could be. These race cars are skating all over this racetrack.
Well, it's exactly what we spoke about, Anthony. You know, cold tyres, got to get them up to temperature. They are battling away in the midfield already, but you know, it'll take them a couple laps. The tyres will get up to temperature. They'll come good eventually as Brannon wants to split the gap and head up the middle here. 3 wide through turn 4 nearly. Oh, but yeah, just get the tyres up to temp. Once they're up to temp, they should be a little bit less skatey and should be much better in terms of inside grip on the corners, but they've got to be careful of crowding as well. Lap 18 of 112 now,
man.
but oh my God, they're getting tight. They're banging doors down the straight. This is, I mean, you know, banging doors, classic stock car racing stuff here, Anthony, as Brannon is still trying to make it 3 wide through 4.
Absolutely, and you see that 99, that green car back there, he's the one that got into the outside fence, and he is not scared of it because he just sent that thing full send around the outside and made a pass there. He is just not afraid. That's all there is to it.
He is not afraid of putting the pressure onto himself. At a Fort Wayne, Indiana, 14th place, Nate Owen. He's tucked up behind the Englishman, Jordan Ferguson, now based out of Australia. And as he starts to put pressure onto the front pack ahead, you've got Alan Phillips, who I think has gone on the apron possibly. So he's just been knocked a bit low there. No caution out though for that one, as he wasn't stopped on the racing surface. But Trey Jones leads the way. Jack Anderson, who pitted on lap 4 after the initial contact, is up to P2 right now here, Anthony. And for Anderson, he's got a fuel advantage over Jones. If he had taken some fuel when he took his fast repair, he can go that little bit longer than the one car. And if he can maintain this pace with those tyres, he could be the corrected race leader.
Absolutely, man. And, you know, just like he said, he was the one that was up on his lid there, and to be able to be right behind the leaders right now, that is just absolutely a rebound of the year. And, wow, I mean, what a great race so far. These guys, they're starting to find out how these cars really handle. Tire temps are coming up. They're starting to get a feeling for this. The racing throughout the field right now is intense.
It is intense. Nate Owen, who we mentioned before, is just dropping a couple of spots. He's touched the wall again, the exact same spot as lap 3. Luckily this time there wasn't a car that was caught up in it, so he is pushing hard. He's now dropping position here to Paul Harris. That 99 car is struggling, and I have a feeling, Anthony, he may have overheated those tyres a little bit too early here, and now he's going to lift slightly just to let them cool down.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way that we saw him running on the outside for a few laps back to back there, that heats up the tires. It heats them up too quick. Goodyears get mad at you. You got to cool them back down, get your rhythm back, and focus on that. You keep doing what you're doing, he's going to be back into the wall and cause another incident. You just need to relax and let things come to him.
Well, it's been good to see off this restart. It appears the field has sort of relaxed themselves now just a little bit. And they've tucked in to what looks to be a good green flag run. And you see them scraping the wall down the back straight, trying to get as close as possible to get that side draft and try and maintain pace with whoever they're battling with side by side. Now, remembering too, these cars have got a couple of different aero configurations that they can use. Now, when we head out to the big super speedways of Daytona and Talladega, they'll get almost it's almost like a 90s Japanese car style wing. It's straight up in the air, slight gap in the middle, and almost looks like a T-shaped wing that they'll be running tonight at Nashville and other circuits. Similarly, they'll have this shorter super speedway wing, and then when they go to a short track or a road course, they've got a completely different aero setup again. So there's a couple of different setups on them. That will change how the car performs, and that could suit different drivers in different racing conditions. As Jones leads the way, Stevens Jr. and Mackie now onto the podium. Anderson's dropped back a little bit to P4. Josh Parent is into P5 at the moment. Trey Martin up 16 spots as well. Anderson's up 19. Stevens Jr. up 17 at the moment. So these guys have done well early in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing we've got to keep our eye on as this race progresses is we cannot forget about that 47 car. It seemed like it was a very unfortunate incident with the restart, but that car has had maximum speed in qualifying, in practice, and in race pace. This race is far from over. We're going to have to keep our eye on that 47.
Well, knowing that this race, it can be carnage at times, the stage end is still to come. If Posey now can change his strategy a little bit, as Jordan Ferguson's gone high into the wall out at turn 4 and is just dropping a couple of spots. It's a tough run for him. if Opposey can keep it clean and strategize now to the end of the race instead of the stage end, he can still come back from this.
Yeah, and that's a dangerous spot to be in, completely off the pace up in that third lane. You got to find a way to get down, not in front of traffic, and we saw there was a couple close calls. It's really hard when you're in these cockpits. Woohoo, baby. When you're in these cockpits, your view is very limited, and you can only see what you can see, and that speed differential is something toxic, I tell you.
Oh, this car sounds very poorly. He's having to bring it into pit road, is Ferguson, so gets it pulled up, and now into pit road comes the 69 car. Nice. It's a joke of the channel.
Yeah, of course.
We have to say nice for it. It's Pruitt. No, it's Rusty Jordan.
Oh.
Trey Martin, I think, is down there in the 39 car. So a couple of drivers running it low and loose. But now the tyres up to temperature, Anthony, they're looking good. I mean, up to temp, just past the halfway point of the stage. And they seem to be settled into their rhythm a little bit. I say that, though, but Stevens Jr. runs it high into the wall, but he keeps going.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the name of the game, right? It happens with the Gen 6 cars. It happens a lot with the Xfinity program, too, is these cars are wicked when the tires are cold. You just got to get 5 to 10 laps in there, and these good gears start to come up to temp, and you start to make your way up toward the front. But, man, I got to be honest. I mean, we've had a few cautions, a brand new league, a lot of people that are not used to racing together and stuff. We get that crap out of the way. This racing, we're setting ourselves up for one hell of a season. What these guys are putting on right now, folks, is called a show, and this is going to be awesome. Oh,
it has been spectacular for this green flag run. We are lap 30 of 46, so when we cross the strike, it'll be 16 to go in the stage, and that's when we expect to see some pit stops occurring. Now, we could see some green flag stops, of course. Actually, I meant to ask, but I never got any fuel numbers off the drivers, so I should ask them for next week so we know exactly how far they can go in these cars. Because that will obviously help us then build the narrative of, well, can they make the stage in? Can they not make it? Right now, we don't know. So we will obviously find out as cars will begin to file into pit road. But those guys who pitted earlier for damage limitation or possibly strategic advantages, they could hold the cards right now in terms of who's ready to play them, but who's ready to fold them too. So Jones, who's gone long, he's ready to stay out front. And I would expect if there was a caution in the next sort of maybe 5 laps up towards lap 40, Anthony, we could see those front runners finally come in for a fuel stop because they're going to get it for free.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the one thing that I'm looking at right now is we've got 34 cars still on the lead lap. There's only 3 guys that are a lap down or more, and that is just awesome. So that just tells you right there, if we get a caution of any kind, well, we will, because the stage break is coming. That's going to be 34 people still have a legitimate chance to win this race. That is just awesome.
Well, we've had from the chat, that's from Good Luck Mad, yeah, 35 laps. Thank you very, very much. You are my absolute savior for that one.
Awesome, okay.
So 35 laps, and we've had 3 cautions. They say about a lap of fuel per caution, so 38 laps should be the run. So we should start seeing some pit stops coming shortly. And what could be the killer now is those guys who didn't come in under the cautions, they're going to have to do a green flag stop if the yellow flag doesn't come out. So that could be massively detrimental to their race. It will they won't have a hand in the stage end because they will have to come in. But the race itself, well, they might be okay if they can, hold it in, sort of only having to pit, 3 times. So, but that's where it's going to start struggling for them. Anderson dropping positions here. Tyres are just starting to wear away now. As Kern makes his way past in the 31 entry. He was in pit lane for 39.95 seconds when he last came in, so took some damage limitation. Did not want to use the fast rear at the time. Pretty smart strategy trying to use it up under a caution. Bailey Brannon, who came in for a strategic advantage, who's up 1 position now, did take tyres on his last stop, Anthony. So for Brannon, he's got fresh rubber on board that car, and I would say on the next stop, he may only take fuel just to try and hold some more track position, but being P5, I don't see any point in not taking tyres. He may as well take some. He's not going to gain bulk positions by just taking fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. If the leaders come in, you might as well do that too. It's gonna put a hurting on you if you don't. One thing I'm noticing right now is that Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine, that 72 car is awesome. Very, very cool. Love to see fun stuff like that. At least it looks like a Scooby Doo machine.
So I wonder what mysteries that car will solve this season. Maybe the mystery of a missing jerry can, or the mystery of a missing tyre set possibly as well could be on the cards.
See?
Yeah.
There you go.
I heard that Damon is quite a scrappy driver. Oh, that.
You went there.
I'm disappointed in myself, I'll be honest with you. So.
That was hilarious.
Thank you. You give me too much credit. 10 to go in the stage. Now 9 to go on the stage as we cross the strike. Josh Parrott and Trey Jones are battling for the race lead. The 12-1 car battle away with Stevens Jr. in behind them. Chris Mackey is a good gain tonight. He's up 4 positions, but Stephen Jr., he's the big one. Up 16 to the front of the field right now as he battles back there in P3, but it's Parrott and Jones who fight their way around. To give you a little bit of a recap for the race thus far, if you're just joining us, about 3 cautions for 9 laps. Trey Jones, the current leader, with only a 1 lead change. That was when Opposey Kareen had to come into pit road for a drive-through penalty thanks to jumping the restart zone. We are lap 39 of 112, and we are expecting pit stops to come shortly, and it could come right now that there is a caution. And the Red Bull 31 car of, I think that's Sam Foster, alongside Sean Lester there. So a couple of cars have come together. It's a caution not too far away from the stage end. I would suspect now, though, Anthony, we're going to see some pit stops because you're getting it for free right now. And I don't think there's any way that even when we go green that they can make it to the stage end by staying out.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see with all the caution laps that we had if somebody was able to make it to the stage end, but I would not be surprised even a little bit if everybody comes to pit road.
So Trey Jones, race leader, what does he do? Well, we expect him to wait until the pace car picks him up and does a lap, because currently pit entry would be closed if he were to come in right now. He would then risk a EOL penalty. We'll also be able to see here, Anthony, if he can bait anyone to coming in early. So he may attempt to do that. It's part of the strategies of obviously NASCAR racing and stock car racing as well. Is it completely apprehensible? Well, I don't know. Is it frowned upon? Sure it is, but it's just a strategy you can use to your advantage.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. We're about to find out what the leaders are going to do here, and oh boy.
Well, Josh Parent's coming in, and he's coming in a lap too early. Mackey's going to come in too, so they're actually going to give up the possibility here of staying in their positions by taking an EOL, but there's a good majority of cars actually following them into pit lane. So it's not going to be too bad, but they will have to run that low line with those EOL penalties next to their names. So Parent leads them in. Jones has stayed out, trying to roll the dice. Stephen Jr. trying to roll the dice too. Brannon stayed out because he has got fuel to get to the stage end. So does Kern. Marotta stayed out, so is Anderson as well. So half the field into pit road as we set ourselves up for one hell of a restart. We're lap 41 of the initial 46 here for the stage. I wonder if they'll end the stage early, or if they'll actually just let them push on for a few more laps. They may push them on for a few more laps here, Anthony, because they are still, 5 laps away from the actual stage end.
Yeah, quite possibly. I know a lot of leagues that run stages. If it's within 2 laps, because the pace laps, they will just call it the stage. But with it being 5 still, I think we're going to go back racing here.
I think we very well could. It was a great green flag run, though. That was a good 20-odd laps of green flag running. And again, as we said, once those tyres are up to temperature, we were seeing less and less of those mistakes. And we were seeing some great battling throughout the field. Now, I'll try and find for us the incident that actually brought out this caution, just for us to break it down just a little bit. So hopefully it doesn't take me too long to scroll back. It did not take me that long, so that's good. This is how it occurred. So we've got Foster on the inside of Lester on the outside. So what occurs for them? No, we want full size, thank you. Oh, we got a little bit of knock there from the 32, and then that's turned around the 21. Okay, so the 32, which we didn't see obviously from this little car park scenario, the 32 car. What's the 32? Of Keith Vaughan actually kind of was on the inside line and just gave, you see there, he gave a little bit of knock to the 31, and then that pushed it up high into the 21 alongside. And that's how the hell broke loose. And smart play there from Sam. Could have dropped down in the 88 and made this a lot worse. Instead, he decided to go up high, sacrifice himself, and hit the car that was already spinning to not cause that to get even worse than what it already was. So fair play to Sam then for having that wherewithal to not drop down on another car on his inside and not make the incident much, much worse.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing we've got to keep in mind right now is these tires on this one car, these guys on the front row here have not pitted. So you got to watch for tire spin in situations like this. And boy, it could get wild.
It could very well get wild. So Brannon and Kern have got the advantage over the race leaders. They've got fresher rubber on their cars. Green flag again, 4 to go in the stage. Who is going to survive the onslaught of the restart here at Nashville?
Really good launch by the one. Very impressed. Did not get any tire spin. Super good launch. And man, once again, it is just pure chaos in the middle of this field. But that one car, he's got his eyes on getting these stage points right here. Coming to lap 44. A couple more to go. He's going to have it in the bag. But I tell you what, the side-by-side for second place, these guys are not trying to let him run away with it. They're going to give it everything they can to go up there and steal this one.
Well, you got to watch Brannon though, as the caution's out again, so that will end the stage early. And it is Robert Bloom back there with Austin Stamper. And there's a couple of cars. It's a car park on the tri-oval. That will end the stage early because we are within 3 laps of the stage, and by the time we would come round and reset, it would be stage-ending laps. So let's have a look how this has occurred because... Oh, okay, so the 98 of Pruitt turned around the 39 car. Just ahead of me, let's try and get a better view of this. So the 98 on the inside, on the outside, just clips the rear of the 39, turning it round in the way of the traffic. And then again, all hell just breaks loose.
Man, in that poor 23 car, I swear he's hit every single one of these cautions, and not a single one of them was his doing. He's been caught up in everybody else's mess tonight.
Well, there's a couple of meatball flags out there, including the 23 of Michael Letchich, as well as Trey Martin, who was turned around, and Jordan Ferguson, who's in pit lane again with another meatball flag. This could be race over for him because he already used that fast repair earlier on. What this stage end means is it means that Trey Jones will win the stage and will now look to push on. Yep. And race controllers have confirmed the stage ends early. So we have found as well that the lap 38 incident for 32 clipping the apron and coming back up onto the 31 car. 32 was at fault for that incident too, as we sort of alluded to, Anthony. So the 32 would have received a penalty for that. That was, let me find who it was again, because now I've got to try and search for them on my list. And I've lost them as everyone's bidding, so that's fun for me. Keith Vaughan. Keith Vaughan has copped the penalty for that one. But that's worked out well for drivers who got their stage points, as it has now ended early. So Jones is into pit lane. Parent, Cole, Rinker, Harris and Stamper have stayed out because they came in on the previous caution. So track position is now going to benefit Parent here. But because the majority of the field came in, Anthony, Jones and McKellar are not going to be too far behind him in terms of being able to chase him down, as they have taken tyres on this stop. Phillips has only taken fuel. So we'll see how that tyre wear suits him now. But cold tyres in some of those cars, they just need to take their time again, warm them up, and they should be good to go for the restart.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good call by the one. You know, he stayed out and was able to get those stage points, and now he's still up there within the top 10 with fresh Goodyears. I think that's a good race winning strategy so far by that team. I'm kind of curious where the 47 is in this thing. I know I was trying to...
Well, he's right there, and he is
looks like he's down a couple laps now.
Yeah, so I have to wonder. He came in on lap 38. So I have to wonder if maybe it's just he's been caught up in the traffic or what, but deep down a lap here. And actually, he may get the... Would he get the lucky dog maybe? Because he wasn't... I don't think he actually copped damage from that incident, or he copped contact. Well, no, apparently not. It's not going to be a lucky dog, so we're going to reset and go again. So there's a couple of cars a lap down, including Bluin, Dyson, Alexic, Martin, Kareen. Ferguson's laps down, and he's in pit lane, and then Owen Russell as well. So there's guys are a couple laps down. Top 30 cars all on the lead lap at the moment. As we get set to go racing once again here at Nashville Super Speedway. 5th caution of the race about to come to an end. The stage has come to an end as well. So stage 2 will light us up for the rest of proceedings. We have got, do a quick math here, we have got 65 laps to go until the end of this race when we cross the line. So it'll be lap 48 when we cross the strike, and it will be 65 laps left to run.
A lot of racing left to go. Everybody just needs to settle in, find your pace. Let's rock and roll. It's time to go green.
Let's go green flag again. So up towards the restart zone. You don't want to jump it. You want to call it at the perfect time. For Josh Perrin, it's green flag running at Nashville. And it's 65 to go and 150 miles as we are racing once again through turn 1. Fresh tyres on board these cars. We know the sort of struggles that the drivers faced early on from cold rubber. Now they've just got to let them get back up to temperature and settle themselves in for a nice long green run again. But they are scrambling already in the mid-pack. It's chaos back here, Anthony, as drivers are trying to find any position that they can.
Absolutely. There is no settling in right now. These guys are going full throttle every single lap, trying to find their way to the front. And man, oh man, like we said earlier in this race, these cars are sketchy on cold tires. And here we go, he's turned around.
Oh, that was Rusty Jordan.
Oh,
He's gone off the road,
He
but he is
saved
still
it.
going. He has saved it. Jeff Dillon's just dropping a few spots now that he's rejoined the track as well.
unbelievable save. Wow.
What a great save from him. But the race leaders battling away through 1 and 2. Rinker and Call with Parent ahead of them. Harris up 29 into P4 now, with Jones inside of the top 5 as they run down the back straight once again. And they run it up towards turn 3.
Yeah, and you see, man, that shot is so cool. Everybody just coming at you 3 wide down that back straight. It's such a great view, but you got to give a shout out to the 18 car right now, holding on to P2 and that Kyle Busch throwback scheme. Just an awesome, awesome run so far for that team. And, you know, as we said, the 1 car stayed out, had a really, really solid pit strategy. So we're going to have to see how this plays out here in a little bit. But, man, you got to give a shout out to those guys. Holding this thing down. This is not an easy racetrack, and these cars are a handful.
Oh, they are an absolute handful. The struggles of Gen 6 NASCAR racing, well, they're going to have to do it 14 times more at the end of 2025 and in towards the start of 2026 as well. And out towards the end of March, it's a long season. It's one that will throw some tests, and twists and turns as well all throughout, as it's 61 to go now. We've got tightening battles all throughout the field, including this one here. Anderson on the back of Stevens Jr. All in the battle of P8 on the road. Strategy staying out worked out well for Stevens. He's up into the top 10. That's P8 now at the moment with Bailey Brannon running away from him, but etching closer and closer to a scrambling pack of Harris, Phillips and Jones ahead of them too. But these guys have all got pace, and they'll be ones to watch throughout this race as Marotta's going to make it 3 wide down the back straight with the 76 and the 31. And this is where,
that was close.
it makes you wince almost when they go 3 wide into a turn, because you think any small mistake, Anthony, and it could be absolute hell on earth for them.
Oh, absolutely. We already saw what that looks like. Some of these guys are doing it. Oh, we got one in the grass here, the 52 going through the infield.
Yeah, Mackey's down there as well, so I have to wonder if they made contact.
So far, we're staying green.
We are. They didn't stop on the racing surface. That's what will bring out the caution, and there it is there. Inside run Mackey had on the 52, and then contacts made. I have to wonder, though, was it maybe lack of racing room left from the 52 car, or was Mackey being, or was he pushing too early to get up alongside? I'll see if I can get a better moment of it.
We've got a caution on the racetrack.
Yeah, we have got a caution. So there's been another incident too. So let's watch this. Okay, so 52 on the low line. Mackey's going to try and go for a gap that's starting to widen. And so as it widens, does the 52... Yeah, 52 comes down on him. Doesn't realise he's right there. So yeah, little bit of lack of spatial awareness, and that's how that one's ended up. And this is what has brought out our caution. So Sam Foster, who we saw earlier on, was involved in an incident. So, oh my God, they've come together again. It's the same cars, the 21 and the 31 have come together. And I think, was that Rusty Jordan off the road as well? Oh my God, this is, yeah, it was, took evasive action. That's big.
Yeah, it looked like it started with the 21 maybe. Oh, there we go. Got to the outside fence.
Yep, got a little knock then from the 3 of Zach Smathers. And of course, you can hold brakes all you want, but when you're on the grass, you got no grip.
Wow.
That is a struggle early on in this race. We welcome everyone in who has been watching along with us, and anyone who's just joined us as well. This is High Side Motorsports Gen 6 Cup Series for 150 miles of Nashville here tonight. It's great to be here once again with more NASCAR action. The first international NASCAR broadcast on the Infinity Broadcasting Channel as a Australian-based broadcasting service. But it is absolutely fantastic to have you all watching along with us. I want to give a shout out to the series sponsors as well. Of course, Rinker Construction, as well as Mattress by Appointment. All of us here at Infinity Broadcasting. Well, we thank you for watching along. If you're joining us for the first time, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing on the channel. I'd love to hit 300 subscribers by the end of the year. We are only 32 away, so it'd be fantastic if you guys could click that subscribe button and help support the channel. And then as well to Blackheart Designs too for their livery giveaway for the in-season tournament. We are on the 6th caution of the race. We're at the halfway point as well. It has been maximum attack for these drivers all throughout, but it has been incredible racing throughout it too. We've seen great battles, a great long green flag period before the end of the first stage out at lap, which ended early, but originally was going to lap 46. But, well, for this race, Anthony, it's been a great one, and it makes me excited for the next few weeks. Auto Club and Daytona to end out the year. Both those tracks are going to throw up some great racing, and they're both going to throw up some big tests as well.
Oh, absolutely. Auto Club is one of my favorite tracks. I absolutely love racing at that place. I mean, you can run 4 wide, 3 wide, no problem. I haven't ran it in this car in a few years, but like we said earlier, you know, that's going to be a challenge for a lot of these guys that haven't been on the sim, and maybe as long as I have to get their footing with this car, because the A class is now in the next gen. But Auto Club and you said Daytona, I mean, back to back, it is going to be one hell of a show for both of those races.
So we've seen as well off the lap 43 incident of car 39, an EOL for the staggered 3 wide was the restart. So figured that one out from race control, so it's great to have a race control in here just to obviously hand out some penalties, keep the drivers in check, and make sure that they are getting, you know, penalised, getting a slap on the wrist for making mistakes, because the way you clean up your driving is when you're told that you've made a mistake and, you know, you need to fix it. And you can ask, how do I fix it? And race control will always help you. So we're going to get reset once again. 2 wide for the restart as the iRacing pace truck will come into pit road. It'll be Josh Parent and Austin Call on the front row as we get into the restart zone once again. We've only had 1 car jump to restart tonight. That was a Posey Kareen off the restart a few cautions ago. But it's green flag at Nashville again as we are racing in and up towards the second half of this race as we're at 59 of 112, 54 laps to go. Parents done well off the restart.
Yeah, an amazing restart there. You see the 18 holding his line, doing what he's been doing all evening long, keeping the pressure up there on that leader. As we see the cars spread out throughout the field, I cannot say it enough how awesome it is from our view to be able to see these cars using the entire racetrack. But you got to watch that high line. It'll bite you because that wall's not going to move, baby. It's going to move you.
Oh, it will move you indeed. And that's the struggle of running the high side, is the wall will never move. So you've got to be careful of wall riding as drivers get as close as possible off the exit of turn 2. Just to carry as much speed through the corner Shouldn't be running it high on the entry, but running it out wide on exit, well, that can be a sound strategy as a couple of them bounce off the wall. They're hitting the exact same spot. It's that little blue sponsorship banner down there off the exit of 4. It's almost like, is that the arc of the racing line? It's like, you want to late apex, run out wide, clip the wall? Like, is that the preferred
that's
strat?
their target. They're hitting their target, see?
Oh, indeed, as McKellar's been turned around on the back straight. So McKellar goes round. Ryan Hatch as well. It's a little bit of a car park scenario down there. So as we reset ourselves again for another caution period, we'll take this time just to take a very, very quick ad break as everyone gets themselves sorted. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly after we hear some special messages from iRacing and iRacing Studios as well.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back into Infinity Broadcasting and the High Side Motorsports 150 miles of Nashville for the Gen 6 Cup Series here this evening. If you're just joining us, Hamish Munro here with you with Anthony Luedy alongside. And Anthony, it's been a race of interesting occurrences. 7 cautions thus far, a great green run right in the middle. We're into our second half of the race now where drivers are just trying to thread the needle, keep their cars in check, keep their cars nice and tidy, and if they can keep them tidy over the next 30 laps or so, they should set themselves up well for a run to the checkered flag.
Yeah, here's hoping, man. I mean, it's been a wild start, but, you know, it's a brand new league. Got to learn each other, learn everybody's mannerisms on the track a little bit. The one thing that I noticed during that last little stint there is, you know, we've seen 5 or 6 guys drop off. They used up their quick repair, and these guys are going to re-rack them and try it again. It's time to go back racing.
Well, we've just learned as well the 67 has been given an EOL for the lap 61 incident. But as we get reset once again and we go running once again, it is green flag from Nashville as Josh Parent perfects the restart zone again. So it's a great restart from the 12 car. Jones is putting pressure now on Cole and Rinker in behind as well as he tucks it up in the P3. Harris and Brannon the top 6 with Anderson, Phillips, Salmon and Kern the top 10. As they continue to battle away, Anthony, it's a scramble all over again. It is a scramble all over again.
Yeah, it really is. And just like you said, man, the 12 car, he has been perfecting these restarts. Nobody has been able to keep up with him on the outside. But I tell you what, these guys are not letting him get away. We can get a good green flag run, and it's going to be very interesting to see what the 18 and the 1 do. We know the 1's got speed. For that matter, we know that the 58 has a lot of speed. He got caught up in a little bit of chaos there, but this is going to be interesting. We want a long green flag run and let the cream rise to the top.
Well, it will always rise to the top at the end, no matter how chaotic it is. If those drivers keep it clean, they will eventually make their way to the front end of town. And with 46 laps to go, we're about to cross the strike at the end of this one to go into lap 68 of 112. As drivers continue to battle in behind. Cole now putting the pressure on the Parrott with Jones up the inside. Here comes the 1 car. Trying to get past the 18, but cannot quite make it stick. And now has to reset again to try and find an optimal line past the Toyota Camry ahead of him. But the interesting thing we've got here is a different manufacturer on every position on the podium. Ford, Toyota and Chevy all being represented up at the top end of town.
Yeah, and that is just awesome. That's what everybody wants to see. That's just so cool that they're able to do that on this sim, to be able to represent your favorite manufacturer, your favorite driver's paints. In fact, you can have your own custom team paints. That just makes this experience so much cooler for us drivers and for the race fans.
Well, even more of an exciting prospect too. The top 6, there are 2 of each car type as well, so that's how balanced it is up there between Ford, Chevrolet and Toyota too. You can see as well that Rinker just putting some pressure now onto Jones as they run around turn 4 and onto the tri-oval once again. And there's Anderson and Salmon and Mackie in behind. Drivers are just getting ever so slightly loose, but the tyres are getting back up to temp. You can see that Pruitt's now putting some pressure on McCurdy, who's up a position in the 4 car. He's running up high. Pruitt will look to take advantage and sneak up the inside. Can Clay Stewart do the same? We saw that car destroyed earlier in the race, and now it is back into it and fighting for position here with Justin McCurdy. If the 5 gets past, well, it'll be 5-4-3 in a row. It'll be Stewart to McCurdy to Smathers, and sometimes it's fun to point those things out.
Yes, absolutely. I tell you what, the guy that I've got my eye on right now is that number 19 car running in the 4th position. They just made a power move on the outside, and it almost looked like the 9 car was standing still. He just absolutely hammered down on that high side, and he closed up from a solid, what, about a 1.5 seconds down to, I don't even know, but he's right there. Oh,
yeah, he got it.
Mistake.
Yeah, he got it loose off of 4. Now covers the inside, and Anderson, who gives a door to Harris and knocks him up the road into the wall.
Whoa.
Oh.
That will be frowned upon.
It will be. Race Control will be looking at that one for sure, but the front end of that 58 car has got big damage. That is a meatball flag, and that car's race is over because he's already used his fast repair. Paul Harris as well, big damage on his car. Jay Salmon's also got a meatball, so he's going to have to bring it into pit road too when he gets an opportunity. More cars caught up in it. Brandon, interesting point for you on him. Anthony previously raced on a bucket. That was his seat, was an actual bucket with a NASCAR cushion on top. He's now got an actual chair, and it's finding him pace. So now that he's got an actual chair, it is helping him better. But he's still without a proper rig. He's got that wheel mounted to a desk on a desk chair. So he's flying right now. He's trying to do his best just to find more and more pace. But he's one of those drivers that, you know, once he gets a little bit of money in to be able to get himself a rig, he is going to be dangerous, and he is going to be very, very hard to beat when that does happen for him.
Yep, absolutely, and I will apologize now. I won't talk about you for the rest of the year because I just gave you the commentary curse. time I like somebody, they seem to wreck. So
It's all right. I don't believe in the commentator's curse. I just think it's a skill issue for the drivers. That's my thing.
I love it. I love it.
Even better for you, Anthony, if they're watching while they're driving and they hear us say their name and then they crash, that's on them. You should be concentrating on driving and not concentrating on what we're saying.
Absolutely right. But man, look at that one car. He is closed all the way to the back of the second place runner of that 18 of Austin Call. He is coming back to the front, folks.
He is indeed. As he runs up right behind her on the nose cam of the Camaro of Trey Jones, who sits right in the line of stern for the top three. They've now just started to separate themselves from Brannon in behind. So Brannon, Mackey, Kern and Rinker, they need to start working together to close down the gap to the top three. We've got 37 laps to go, but they will run down very, very quickly. If it's green flag to the end at roughly an average of 30 seconds a lap, we're going to be here for around about 18 more minutes of racing. So if these guys can keep themselves clean and keep this green flag run coming, even if, I'll take a late caution. I will take like a caution with maybe 5 laps to go, see who comes in for some tyres and push to the end. That's what I'll take.
Yeah. There you go. Absolutely. And it's going to be interesting because I think no matter what, these guys are going to have to come in for fuel. So strategy could play a huge part of this, right? Are we going to see any 2 tires?
We've called it into succession as Mike Rinker comes in.
Yes, we did.
And I think here for Rinker, he's coming in for a critical lap scenario. With 35 laps to go, he knows this car can withstand 35 laps of its tank. Now, is it slightly early, being a green flag stop? Quite possibly could be. I would almost sort of go on the heavier side of caution here, Anthony. Maybe go out to 30 laps to go and then come into pit road. Because if you can make it out to 30 laps to go, then you're setting yourself up for a green-white checkered where you don't need to pit at the end of the race for extra fuel. And you're fueled up to the very end of the race as well. But we are lap 79 of 112. They did these front 2 last came in on lap 40, so they are getting to the end of their fuel run here. They will need to come in for fuel. Jones, Brannon and Co, who came in on 45, they can go all the way out to lap 80 under a green flag run, so they're going to be able to go that a little bit longer. And those that came in on 55, 56, 62, they're going to be able to go even longer again and will need less fuel to get their cars home. So the strategies of these drivers and the amount of fuel they're going to need to get home, it's going to be vastly different for different packs. And we'll see which one comes out on top and who has bought the tickets at the end of this race. Because that's the important part, obviously, about stock car racing is you've got to buy a ticket to the end of the race. You've got to get yourself to the very end where you can punch your ticket and try and go for a race win. So you're strategizing all throughout about how you're going to get to those last 10 laps, how you're going to keep your car clean to the last 10 as Austin Call makes the call and comes into pit road. How are you going to buy the ticket to get to the end? Well, you've got to keep your car clean. You've got to be able to strategize around how you're going to get to those final 10 laps. And if there is a late break caution at the end of the race, are you going to make the decision to come in, take fresh tyres and push on? Or are you going to stay out, keep track position and hope that there's carnage in behind where drivers cannot encroach onto the back of you and put pressure onto you off the restart?
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, pit strategy is everything. I don't want to say it's easy, but in real life, they have crew chiefs. We are the driver and our own crew chief in these races. And just for the people at home, there's a lot going on during these things. You've got to do math. You've got to think about strategy. You've got to drive the race car up to pace and hold your lap time. So there's a lot going on here. This is definitely a mental game.
Drivers with the biggest advantage, not even just in road racing, but in NASCAR racing as well, Anthony, those that have got someone who can be a spotter for them. Those that have got someone who can be a crew chief, who can be there to do the math for you on hand, who can help you pick out the strategy and can help do things for you. So all you have to concentrate on is getting the car in the pit road and getting it pulled up in the pit box at the correct time. So those drivers who have got a race strategist with them, I strategize for my team for our league race every week. They are at a significant advantage over the rest of the field because everyone else has got to do it on their own and everyone else has got to try and raw dog it and do it on the fly.
Yep, absolutely correct, man. Absolutely. We're coming to, 28 to go, and just like you said, I mean, that pit window is open. What do you want to do here? Do you want to split this in half, or do you think you want to go long? I mean, you look at the gentlemen's, the drivers that are just pitting. they can make it on fuel, but their tires are going to be halfway worn out by the time the rest of this field pits.
Well, they're only going to be able to go so far as Mackey's now into pit lane. So first of the lap 45 pitters is now in. So green flag stops are coming. And the nail in the coffin scenario now is for those guys that are pitting slightly early. If a caution comes out, everyone else is going to be able to pit for free. Now, I suppose the thought process is, well, everyone's going to be banked up together. You have to wait for pit entry to open, otherwise you get an end of line. But if this race goes long and they are trapped at the very back of the field, at least this green flag run before a caution comes out as Jones is now in, then you could be at a significant disadvantage compared to the rest of the field in terms of fuel strategy and where you can place your car for the final run to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of run to the end, how about this 12 car Joshua Parent? I mean, he has hammered down and he has left the field in his dust. I mean, what an absolute performance we're seeing out of this 12 car right now. The pace is unmatched, and speaking of, he is coming to pit road.
He is indeed. So we'll watch pit road light up for the race leader Josh Parent as he brings the car in. So he was up a few positions. He qualified well in this race. So he will have a pit bay further down pit road. Needs to be a clean stop for him. Needs to be one that is perfected. He has not sped into pit lane. Cody Pruitt has, though, who now has a black flag. So it's right side. He's taking right sides. Will he take left sides as well? No. No, he is. Okay, so lefts and rights. He's taking all four. Drops the car out of pit road now. Goes Josh Parent. Full set of tyres on board. And with 25 laps to go, that car is going to have some mega pace in it.
Yeah, I think being in his situation, I think 4 tires is the way to go. I think that's a race-winning move right there by that 12
The problem for him, though, is Jones and Rinker have actually jumped him in pit road, and they've both taken 4 tyres as well. So because they came in slightly early and didn't have to save to get an extra lap, they've been able to jump him in pit road and actually get a bit of draft together because he had no draft. So his car was much slower, and these guys have undercut him significantly now. I would watch for guys like Brannon Stevens Jr. and maybe Stewart, because they could also possibly jump him as well because they are in the draft. So that could have been a little bit of a tough green flag pit stop there for Parent. As Kern is in the pit lane, so is Brannon. So now we've got to watch. Do they jump that car right there, Josh Parent in the 12 entry, who led the race off the last restart and into this pit stop period?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, and you are absolutely right. My scoring didn't update, and I didn't realize they did jump them there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. My gosh, milliseconds matter. Getting on and off pit road here in these races.
Well, he's coming around turn 3 and 4. Kern and Brannon are still in the box, so I think they are both going to get jumped here by Parent. They are, so they're going to drop position to Parent as they just exit pit lane now, so they haven't managed to jump him. Chris Mackey has jumped them now as well. He came in significantly earlier. So pit road is lighting up, pit strategies are lighting up as Nate Owen's in now too. So we're finally getting green flag stops, and I tell you what, I love being able to see green flag stops because it really opens up the differential on strategy, and it opens up, when do you come in? How crucial is it when you come in? Have you pulled the right move? Have you come in too early? Have you come in too late? Or have you called it just right? And that is the test of a green flag stop in stock car racing. And when we can see it play out like this, it is a symphony of gorgeous strategic plays coming to the front of our eyes and seeing it on the screen we're watching. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. And you see right here, the 12 car is going to unlap himself, so he is going to be back on the lead lap. So even if a caution were to come out, he would be in a good position here. And that's everybody's fear, right? When you're coming down pit road during these green flag stops, you don't want a caution to come out in an untimely manner because that can ruin your day.
Stevens Jr. is struggling with pace at the moment. Older tyres on board that car, and the fresh tyre runners are just sneaking on by him at the moment. Blake Stewart in behind him too. When does Clay come in? He comes in right now. Will Smathers join him in the 3 entry? He is going to stay out again. So And there we can see Posey Kareen. What race could have been for Posey tonight if not for that jumping of the green flag start and getting a drive through it. Put him on the back foot the whole race. So we've now got 19 to go. And he would have been a contender tonight. And he'll be a contender this season, Anthony. It's just a shame that he made that mistake off of the restart. As Stewart and Mercer are in the pit lane now.
Yeah, very interesting to go back and look at this and see what happened there. Obviously, the jump on the restart was one thing, but there's something else had to have happened along the way to be 3 laps down that we just simply didn't catch everything on the broadcast. But there's a lot of pace in this. It's very early in the season. I wouldn't hold my head too low. There's plenty of time to make that up.
So this is the battle for the corrected race lead. Austin Cole, Trey Jones fighting away for a race win tonight here at Nashville Superspeedway. 18 laps to go. We're lap 95 of 112, and Jones is trying to seek that car up the inside, but he's given a bit of knock there to Cole.
Oh.
Somehow catches it, but it is tightening up. Stevens Jr. and Smathers are now in the pit lane, so the race lead's about to get corrected, and it's going to be on for 17 more laps in Nashville.
What a save by that one car. I thought he was coming around there, but holy crap, this is amazing racing. I mean, it does not get any closer than this. Coming down to the end of a race, what more can you ask for? This is awesome.
So Stevens Jr. will exit pit lane. He'll exit behind. I think Dalton Henson is about to come past him in the 88. He is. So is Robert Bouillon as he comes past. So there is Stevens Jr. out of pit road. But Austin Cole, can he take the call and take the win, or will Trey Jones etch his way in the history books as the first race winner in a regular season round of High Side Motorsports? It has been an incredible race thus far, an incredible night on the road here in Nashville, one of cautions and long green flag runs, and one that has put pressure and tests on the drivers all throughout. With 15 to go, and we cross the start-finish strike. We are into the final chapter. It is the final moments of this race coming together, and we've got a late break caution.
Oh no.
I think it was John Roberts and the 39 car back there. There's a couple of more that have been involved. This is a big one to the end, but this could now pull out some big strategy. Oh, okay, so it was Trey Martin and the 31 car coming together. How has this happened? So they've come through. Oh, he's just drilled him.
Oh man.
Martin's just drilled him and turned him round.
That did not look good.
Nope. So there's a couple of meatballs now. Alan Phillips has got one. So has William Kern. That 31 car is involved in it. Trey Martin's also got one too. So I would say there'll be a penalty coming the way for Trey Martin on that one from what we saw. 8th caution of the race. And this has been a tough, long slog for them. 99th lap of the race. We've been under caution for 22 laps with 4 lead changes across the process. And Austin Cole will get us underway once again. But we're about to get into the nitty and gritty. When we get restarted, as Cole is going to come in. He is going to come in for tyres. Jones is going to stay out.
Wow, I did not see that happening.
So, Austin Cole, Mackie, Rinker, Phillips, Bouillon, Henson, Kern, Marotta, Vaughan, Lester have all come into pit road here. Phillips has just used his fast repair, by the way, so he'll be back out on track. I don't know if Kern has one. But this has now reopened up the race. It's opened the can of worms a little bit. So what it's done is it's now promoted Robert Stevens Jr. up into P4. Rusty Jordan, Zach Smathers are now within the top 10. But it's also promoted Josh Parent and Bailey Brannon onto the back of Trey Jones' car. They've decided not to come in for fresh rubber. Those previous front runners have. Could that be a nail in the coffin, or could this be a strategic masterclass Anthony, for those drivers to come in under this caution, to get fresh rubber on board, maybe a little bit more fuel, just in case we go green, white, checker to the end.
That could be it. I mean, hey, maybe they know something that we don't down there driving those cars. But gosh, I did not think that he was going to come down to pit road. I'm shocked by it. We'll have to see where he comes out. It looks like he's still probably going to be...
It's P7. So
yeah,
he's right
gosh,
amongst
maybe that's not a bad call then. I thought he was going to be a little bit further.
I think he was probably helped by the amount of cars that joined him. That definitely had a factor in it. Now, there is a little bit of field contamination at the moment because of the amount of lapped cars that are amongst this front pack. So I think they'll either be given EOLs to go to the back of the field because they are lap traffic, since there was already a lucky dog in place, or they're going to be allowed to restart amongst the front runners. The struggle with that is if those cars are carrying damage, they could very well get involved in this, and they could very well cause a caution up further up the road and really start to hurt some drivers' runs up here. But more cars have been in pit road. They've got their cars fixed up. It's good to see the Gates back out there after getting his meatball fixed from just taking those required repairs. Ferguson's back out there too. We saw in pit road earlier on. So there are some cars that are laps down at the moment, but they're still pushing on. They're still racing. They're not giving up, even in the towering face of defeat ahead of them. And they are so many laps down on the race leaders.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, the grit never stops. You know, just go out there and do the best you can for your team. Not every day is going to be perfect, but sometimes you just got to ride it out. And those bad days at the end of the season, every point matters. So props to them for sticking with it.
Every point matters, especially if you want to get to that in-season tournament, because it's the top 16 after 5 rounds that'll be within it. Trey Jones will look to get us restarted and lead us through the restart zone. It's green flag at Nashville again, with 11 laps to go. And Brannan has got the restart perfected out in P3. He's now going to tuck it up into P2 past Parent. But for Trey Jones, he's perfected it. And now Brannan and Jones will do battle once again. The long-time rivals for championship glory across different leagues and now into High Side. Look to battle for a race, but again with the unknown, almost underdog here of Josh Parent, who has freshened himself up and got himself in for a battle for a race win.
Yeah, that was an excellent restart on that inside line. Oh no.
Aaron Phillips, Chris Mackey as well. Multiple cars in this, the O2 as well. I think further back there, I mean, these are multiple cars with meatballs now. So all of a sudden, Austin Cole's called to come into pit lane for fresh rubber. Looks to be a smart one, because he is now up to P4 with fresh rubber under him and great pace in that 18 entry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He could be sitting in the catbird seat right now. That is just something. Wow.
Now, if you're in the position of Jones here, Anthony, are you coming in? Are you taking some fuel? Are you taking some tyres in the hopes that there may be a green, white checker at the end of this thing?
That's such a tough call. That's such a tough call. I don't know. With as few laps as we have, I think the track position loss might be too great. With all the people that pitted behind the 18 car there, that really did help him out. I don't think a lot of people are going to pit. I think the call is too great.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at it, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 cars that didn't pit under that last caution. And Parent's going to do it. So he is going to come in. He thinks the risk is worth it. Keith Vaughan's going to follow him as well, but I suppose they're only going to fall as far as, what, P15? So they may work out okay, but what it's done is it's now opened the gates a little bit more for Austin Call now to try and get a run in on Brannan and Jones ahead of him. But, it's going to be an enticing battle to the end. Nadeau gets his lap back, gets the lucky dog wave around, and heads past the race leaders. This is going to be an intense end to this race. It really, really is.
Absolutely is. And the way that things have been going, we've had quite a few cautions. So that guy to come back out with fresh tires and P15, it might not end up so bad for him. We'll have to wait and see, right?
Well, there are multiple cars in pit lane with meatball flags trying to get their cars fixed up. Parent has come out in P12, but he's going to be right at the end of the train, so he's going to be far back. Realistically now, it's going to come down to maybe the top 6 or 7 cars, but we know with how much carnage we've had, we could have a massive stack on the line, and anyone in behind them could sneak through and take the win.
Absolutely, man. Look, I think the way this race has gone, I think anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. Yeah. I just, wow, you never know, man. This thing is not over.
It's not over. I want to give a big shout out as well, though, to all those who've been in the chat with us here tonight. Breaking Wheels since 99 out there. Posey was in there earlier before the race. My glorious scout Hamish. Thank you, Posey. Appreciate it. Down was out there too. Favorite broadcaster back again. Alaska was out there. Come on, Smathers. You got to go fast. Well, Smathers is up inside the top 10 at the moment. Jacko was out there as well. Great to have him in the chat with us. Natasha is out there too, giving the love to Trey Jones. So great to have you all joining us tonight in the chat. As well as Blake too. So great to have you all watching along with us. If you are watching, get into the chat. And be sure to join us back here next week, 7:50 p.m. Eastern Time for round 2 when we go racing out at Auto Club. That is going to be a fun one in the Not a Parking Lot 150 at the California Speedway of Auto Club. Restart zone is going to get lit up once again. Brannon and Jones resurging a rivalry here in High Side Motorsports with Austin Cole, the newcomer in amongst this front championship battle. Robert Stevens Jr., who's had a decent run tonight, up 15. Rusty Jordan, who's new to this as well. Zach Smathers, who knows the game. And then others in behind them who will want to put pressure on for a race win. 9th caution, done and dusted. Green flag at Nashville. We saw already, Anthony, the high line once again not helping anyone who started on that high side, including Brannon, who was in P2. Because he is now trapped behind Austin Cole, who's on fresh rubber with 5 to go. And he doesn't have nearly as much push to try and get past him as the scramble continues in the mid-pack in behind them. But Cole goes for the race lead through turn 1. Can he get it off the exit at 2, or is Jones going to be able to hold on here? Brannon wants to make it 3 wide. Is it going to be staggered 3 wide down the straight? Oh my God! Staggered 3 wide down towards turn 3. Can they keep themselves in check? This is crazy stuff.
Wow, what an awesome move. Oh, into the wall. The 18 is in the grass.
Cool. Tapped the wall off of 4 and now crossing the triangle. Needs to be careful not to cross the pit exit cone. He doesn't, but that is arguably his race over.
Wow, did not expect that to happen, but holy cow, talking about a race. This is awesome racing.
Right now, it is maximum pressure on Trey Jones with Bailey Brannon right on his inside, trying to tuck it up and in on him. And it's a caution thrown. There is a caution thrown. Zach Smathers has gotten a meatball flag.
Oh, no. We didn't want to see that.
So how has this happened to Zach? Oh, he's been drilled. He's been drilled, and that car has now got big damage on it from that. He'll have to bring it into pit lane and get it sorted. But man, does that open up the game now. We're on lap 110. We're going to go overtime.
Yes, we are.
I hope they're fueled up for overtime, because we're not going to go green until, what, lap 113? This has been a fantastic race. Maximum pressure. But again, got to buy a ticket to the end. And unfortunately for Austin Cole, he shook his ticket out the window of the train and let it go, and away it went.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I hate it for the 18. I just saw him break loose. And, well, I mean, that was a heck of a save there. He didn't come back on the track and go bowling for more cars. He did a good job at that. But I hate it for him because he was a contender for sure.
I think he'll be a contender this season. No doubt about that. I think
Absolutely.
he'll be able to get back out there across the next few weeks, and he'll be putting pressure on these front runners for sure. But again, consistency is key. And if Jones or Brannan can finish out the first round as a race winner, well, that is one step closer to a championship next to their name. It is maximum pressure. We are at boiling point here for these drivers to try and survive this. The 10th caution of the race. We're going into overtime. It is a main event level moment for these drivers at Nashville. And what a first round it's been. It's gotten me so giddy and excited now for the rest of the season. Anthony, you know, thinking about Auto Club next week, that really odd shape of the circuit, that's going to test drivers. Daytona the week after, well, that is going to be classic plate racing stuff, and one that I so look forward to leading into next year as well. I look forward to Watkins Glen in round 5. That's going to be fun to go road racing. The longest night of the year at Indianapolis as well. That's going to be fun to end out the in-season tournament. Bristol's going to be a test, and then, of course, ending it out at Charlotte at the end of the season. It's all going to be so fun to come.
I could not agree more. I really like the schedule. Whoever put it together did a great job. It's not, there's not a weak link in any of this schedule. This is going to be a great season of racing.
Well, we'll get ourselves prepared for what's to come towards the end of this race. I did just reload my virtual cam. Hopefully that fixed it for you, Anthony, and hopefully for everyone else, they have fixed themselves going forward and into the finale portion here of this race. So Trey Jones, Bailey Brannan will get us restarted for what should be the final run home. It'll be a green-white checkered in overtime conditions. The green flag lap will be lap 113. White flag will then be lap 114. And this is max pressure. Anyone in amongst the top 10 could win this race. Any one of them can. Because they've all got themselves put into a proper line astern. Josh Parent has got the freshest tyres of the lot, but he is starting on that treacherous outside line in behind Brannan. So how does the pressure get to you? And how do you sort yourselves out as the goosebumps will start to ridge and the throttles get pushed in the green flag restart of Nashville Superspeedway? It's 150 miles and change with 2 to go around Nashville.
That got tight.
Oh, it did. Oh, it is super tight up there. But we've got to watch Parent now, Anthony, because he's on those fresh tyres. He's got great pace. And now he sits in the position of what was previously held by Austin Cole. Fresher tyres in the top 2. And with 1 lap to go, a good chance at a race win.
Man, he's going to have to just send it. There's no time to wait now. He's going to have to full send this thing and see if it sticks. That's all he can do.
He's all he can do. Oh, and he's trying to go down the inside. They're 3 wide, banging doors. Josh Parent.
He got it.
He got it. Race lead for the 12, but here comes Brannan on the inside in the 19. It's Brannan to Parent. Which one of them's going to take the win? The 19 got loose of Brannan. Mackey's made contact with Rinker in the background, and Cole's gone off. It's Josh Parent. Wins it out at Nashville.
Gosh. That was awesome. Holy cow. What a finish.
What a finish. Parent to Brannan to Stevens Jr. Trey Jones drops to P4. Kern inside the 5. Marotta and then Mackey, who I think will actually get a penalty for an unsafe entry because of the contact. Vaughn, Rinker, and Nate Owen, the top 10. What an end to that race tonight. What a finish here at Nashville. Josh Parent, take a bow. First winner in High Side Motorsports as the celebrations will begin. I think you might need to learn how to do a burnout, Anthony, just quietly.
He figured out how to win that race. That was exciting. Holy cow. What
a race win for Josh Parent. And what a race it was as well. one that threw out a little bit of everything for us, and one that I think these drivers should be significantly proud of all throughout. To give the rundown on the official, or provisional I should say, race results. This is how they ended up. Josh Parent to Bailey Brannan, Rob Stevens Jr. for the top three, Trey Jones, William Kern, Damon Marotta. I've got to fix those things at the bottom. Apologies for that one. Marotta, Mackie, Vaughan, Rinker, Owen the top 10, Stamper, Smathers, Call, Jordan, and Harris the top 15, Mercereau, Dyson, and Pruitt the top 18 cars on the road. As we then look back to Salmon, Stewart, Roberts, Russell, Hatch, Phillips, Lester, Henson, Bouillon, Kareen, the top 28, to then Causey, Anderson, Martin, Ferguson, McCurdy, McKellar, Foster, Dillon, and then Electric at the back end of the field. So it was a big race. It was a big test for these drivers. We've already got our P2 on the road in the booth. And that there is Mr. Bailey Brannan. Bailey, welcome in. P2 on the road tonight. Congratulations. A tough run to the end there. Nearly took home the race win in the 19 car. Caution heavy, but that is super speedway action. But what it was a great race, especially across those green flag periods.
Yeah. Man, my adrenaline is rushing right now. I'm having an adrenaline dump right now after that one. That was a very intense restart there at the end. I'm glad we were able to have some good racing in between. I know we had a rough start, but that happened. We had a lot of cars tonight. We probably had about 40 cars out there. So that's going to happen, little mistakes here and there. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to have a good point stay today.
Well, it was a solid point stay for yourself, Bailey. P2 on the road, P2 in the championship now, heading out to Auto Club next week. How did you find it all tonight? I mean, obviously it's tough to really keep yourself in check all throughout the race. How was it though trying to strategize around it and buying a ticket to the end to get yourself in the position that you could battle for a podium and a race win?
Oh, just really just taking care of my tires. When I got caught up in that wreck early on, I had to use a set, so I was down a set. I really wish I had an extra at the end there, because that's really what beat me. I tried to hold off Josh as best as I could, but just making good strategy calls, taking tires some stops, and then maybe not taking them the next stop. That way, so you can have a set towards the end. But also just making sure I maximize track position on pit road, and whenever you have a caution, just make sure I stay up front. But
well,
that was my strategy.
Well, Bailey, it worked out well for you. P2 on the road. Auto Club next week. How are you feeling going into that one?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty. I think we'll have some pretty good racing out there. It should be a lot of fun. I really like Auto Club. I haven't had a chance to drive it in this car yet, so it should be an interesting experience. Hopefully it doesn't play too much to my disadvantage, because I've only driven this car on a handful of tracks. But, hopefully this podium will help me carry some momentum into the next round, and, maybe we can go get one.
Well, Bailey, we appreciate you coming to have a chat to us. Best luck next time out at Auto Club. Just as a little reminder before we let you go, 0-1, Bailey.
Yeah, I know. I'm counting.
0-5.
I'm counting. Don't worry. I was thinking about it. I was on that last restart. It was in the back of my mind.
Well, Bailey, best of luck
Don't
next
worry.
week out at Auto Club. Thank you so much for coming to have a chat to us, and congratulations on the P2.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Good run, buddy.
Just to give you the update on why I mentioned 0-1, Anthony, me and Bailey have made a little deal between ourselves. If he doesn't get a race win in the first 5 rounds, he must change that Florida State livery to a University of Florida livery, because he is a Florida State not only fan but student as well. So
that's hilarious.
That was my little challenge to Bailey for the start of this season. Next up, we have our P3 on the road here tonight in Robert Stevens Jr. Rob, congratulations, P3. I think the most impressive stat, though, up 16 positions into P3. Strategized well, kept yourself clean. Maybe a little bit of luck was involved, but in the end, you kept yourself there. You bought a ticket to the end, and you got yourself a podium. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, how'd you find Nashville tonight? How'd you find it dealing with the struggles early of the carnage and then the long green flag runs as well? Do you think there was anything your car could have done better on the road this evening in those long green runs, or do you think she worked out pretty well?
She definitely worked out better than had been going on. I managed to keep it off the wall. I had a tendency when we ran practice race last night where I kept hitting the wall a lot and damaging the car. So I managed to keep it off the wall and somehow managed to find my way up front, considering in our practice and qualifying I wasn't really up there with the faster guys.
Well, you kept yourself clean, put yourself in a positive position to run for a race win. Didn't quite get there, P3 in the end. Auto Club next week. It's an awkwardly shaped oval. How are you feeling going into Auto Club and how can it provide to you a positive performance, or how do you think your car is going to best be set up for next week to try and take home another podium?
I like Auto Club. I seem to do well there. I know kind of bumpy, so it could be a little bit rough, but I think as long as I can manage to save a little bit of tires and just try to stay up towards the front, I might have another shot at getting me another podium.
Well, podium early, is that for you with confidence now leading throughout the rest of the season, or are you just going to take them as they come?
Give me a little bit of confidence. Definitely, I should be sitting pretty good. I got second place in the stage, I believe. So, starting out, I should be pretty good in points. So it's going to give me some good confidence for the remainder of the season.
Well, confidence can be key in terms of carrying momentum. A fantastic effort here tonight. Anthony, is there anything you want to ask Rob before we let him go?
Yeah, you had mentioned in the practice race that you were kind of hitting the wall a little bit. Is that a product of the car being really tight? Do you feel like the front end was kind of skating toward the wall, being this old concrete surface, or what do you think that was?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of that, and like the front tires getting worn down a little bit from the concrete. It would just push real hard, and
Sure.
I just have a tendency to get in the throttle a little too early. I would think I was going to be right at the wall, and next thing you know, I'm hitting the wall, causing a little bit of damage every time.
Sure. No, I understand. I haven't driven one of these Gen 6s in a while, and the last time I remember, they got really, really tight. So I was just kind of curious if you were feeling the same thing.
Oh, yeah, they definitely get tight.
Well, good run tonight, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, Rob, congratulations on your P3 this evening. We appreciate you coming and have a chat to us. Best of luck next week out at Auto Club. We look forward to seeing how you go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have got our race winner here this evening in the 12 car. Made the late call to come in on lap 104, got the fresh tyres on board, survived the carnage, and bought the ticket to the end, and has taken home a hell of a race win. Josh Parent. Josh, congratulations. Race win. Great strategy call at the end there. Kept yourself clean and mean to the very end of the race. How are you finding it running up the front end of town? You looked very, very comfortable running with those guys for a long time. And, well, I have a feeling it was similarly in the cockpit as well.
It was smooth. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick right now, but it just was a smooth ride. I love this track. I played the long run. Actually, 90% of that race, I did not push at all. And then when those green flag pit stops hit, I had a little bit of tire left, and so I started gapping the one. I knew the 18 short pit, so I thought to myself, like, I really need to get whatever I can out of these tires before I pit. And I felt I nailed my pit stop. I got on the track very well, and I had only needed like maybe 3 or 4 seconds to get back up the 18. And I think there was maybe 18 laps left when I got up to them and they were racing, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to get through like butter. We're going to win. Bam, caution. And then I made the wrong call. Honestly, the 18 on strategy alone should have won this race, and he made a mistake and it cost him. And when I pitted the next caution, I was just hoping for a little bit of luck, and it went my way. And after that, it just was a crazy 3-wide send that stuck. And yeah, I drove away from that one. That was crazy. Definitely one of the crazier finishes I've had in the Gen 6, and it's been on here forever.
Well, I mean, it was a wild final lap for us. We had a lot of fun calling it. And yeah, man, it was a wild last few laps. And I'm expecting next week at Auto Club to be a similar scenario. What are you expecting from Auto Club next week? Not only from the field, but yourself as well in the 12 car.
We did a practice race at Auto Club. I had won it, but it came down to kind of like a green light checkered scenario. But it's a lot in the draft. But the nice thing is these cars do spread out, and tire saving is huge. Tire saving was insanely huge tonight. A lot of people went laps down under green, and you just don't see that in a lot of other cars like the next gen. It's nice you put a lot back on the driver, being in and hitting your apexes and everything. And Auto Club is same. It's such a momentum track. So qualifying is going to be huge because track position does still matter. And then just managing your tires. So I'm thinking something similar to here, but a little less of the skill gap showing. It'll definitely be a lot of, like I said, momentum based and timing everything. You just gotta nail that, and then hope someone runs with you.
Well, you nailed it here tonight. We'll hopefully see you nail it again next week as well. Just so you know, Lex is in the chat saying my boyfriend is the perfect winner. Go number 12. So,
She picked the car.
Oh well,
she picked the paint scheme.
That's nice. But
that's awesome.
That's really cool. But Josh, congratulations for your race win here out at Nashville. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, my girlfriend Lexi. Is the first time she's been able to watch and see me win. A lot of other leagues I've been in, I've had chances of winning and cautions or me getting wrecked or just something, but she's always cheering for me, or I'll hear her yelling out there when something happens. So she, it's definitely nice. She enjoys watching these, and it's nice having that kind of support when, for things that I enjoy. So.
Well, Josh, you drove a fantastic race. Congratulations on the race victory. Best of luck next time out at Auto Club, and thanks so much for coming and have a chat to us.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
You too, man. Great run.
Well, Anthony, that'll bring an end to our first running of the High Side Motorsports Gen 6 Cup Series. And what a run it was. What a race it was. I'm excited for next week at Auto Club. That is going to be a fantastic race. 7:50 p.m. EST, 11:50 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time for my Australian viewers out there. It's going to be a fun run. It's going to be a fun time. And from what we saw tonight, the green flag runs were top tier. The racing that we saw in those green flag runs was absolutely incredible. And I think these drivers should be very proud of that. It took them a little bit to reset themselves after the initial few cautions, but once they got into their groove and they kind of reset the mind and reset the mindset, God, was it a great race to watch.
Yeah, it really was, man. I think you nailed it, They're going to work out the bugs. It's a brand new league and a lot of different drivers that don't know each other's characteristics. But the racing that we saw was simply incredible. There's going to be a whole lot more of that. Take the positive side of it and move forward to next week. Auto Club is a super racy racetrack. So many different grooves. This car is going to produce. These drivers are going to put on a show. The rest of the season, I'm excited as hell to be here. It took me a minute to get my feet under me. I was nervous. I haven't been in the booth in a long time. Watching these guys, it's more of an excitement than nerves by far. This was awesome.
It was fantastic. And as I said, you guys can join us once again next week, December 7th, 2025, 7:50 p.m. EST time. Auto Club Speedway, 475 laps, 150 miles. Stage end will be lap 35 next week as we continue on at the beginning of this season of the High Side Motorsports Gen 6 Cup Series. Big shout out to our series sponsors as well, Rinker Construction Remodeling, Mattress by appointment as well out of Fremont, Ohio. Call 419-407-6652. To us here at Infinity Broadcasting, well, if you're joining us for the first time or you've been here for a little while and you haven't done so already, hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing on the channel. Next up on the docket for you, well, it's the next round of High Side Motorsports. Our Australian leagues are currently on break at the moment, so the next thing you guys can expect is another round of High Side out at Auto Club next week. And a shout out to Blackheart Designs as well. If you want to get yourself a premium iRacing livery, shoot myself, Hamish Munro, a message over on Discord at HM_Injection. That's at HM_INJEXION. And be sure to get you sorted for a livery. And we're giving away one as well for the in-season tournament. The winner of the tournament at Indianapolis will receive a free livery, and then they will be able to put that on their car for the end of the season. So it's going to be a fun time ahead getting to that one. But I'm at Hamish Munro with Anthony Luedy alongside. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your effort being here with us in Infinity Broadcasting and in High Side Motorsports as well. And until next time out at Auto Club, we appreciate your time, appreciate your effort. Until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
High pressure, high stakes. It feels like the whole world's watching every move that I make. Another sunrise, another warning, but I'm still learning how to hold the line, how to quiet down the noise inside. And the moments slip away when I forget what I need. So I steady up my hands, let the rhythm set me free.